welcome students. This is Pankaj Singh, Ask IITian's faculty, working with Ask IITian since last 3 years. Now we are going to start a new chapter, polymers. As the name suggests, poly means many. So polymers are actually giant molecules, large molecules, which are formed by a combination of small molecular units. Those are known as actually monomers of polymer, and the process of formation of polymers from monomers is known as polymerization. So actually there are number of polymers in our daily life which we use: plastic, our pen, switches. Apart from that, the dresses which we wear, the polyester, polyethylene, these all are polymers. There is wide range of variety of polymers, and in this chapter we are going to study about all these type of polymers. So let's start with the first video. In this we will basically focus on classification of polymers. We will see that polymers can be classified on various bases in number of groups. So let's start. Polymers. As the name suggests, poly means many. So polymers are basically giant molecules, large molecules or large compounds which are formed by a combination of many small units. So polymer is a very large molecule that is made up of many repeating small molecular units. For example, we know proteins are actually made up of amino acids. So we can say that protein is a polymer which is formed by combination of small amino acid units. So here protein is a polymer, and amino acids, which are actually building blocks of that protein, are known as its monomers. So the small molecular units from which the polymer is formed is called monomer. Similarly, polyethylene is a polymer which is formed by monomers ethene. Okay, and the chemical reaction that joins these monomers together to form polymer is known as polymerization. So polymerization is basically a chemical reaction or a process which involves the joining of monomers to form polymer. Okay, now polymers are of two types: homopolymers and copolymers. If all the monomers of a polymer are similar or of same type, then it is known as homopolymer. Just I told you about polyethylene. So polyethylene is formed by a combination of ethene molecules. So all the monomers are same ethene molecule. So it is a homopolymer in which all the monomers are same, are of one type. Other examples are starch. We know starch is actually formed by a combination of glucose molecule. Similarly, cellulose also consists of glucose. Glycogen is also a polymer of glucose. Insulin is a polymer of fructose. Polyethylene, we just discussed, is actually formed by a combination of ethylene molecules. So it is also a homopolymer. Similarly, polyvinyl chloride is formed by a combination of vinyl chloride monomeric units. Similarly, Teflon is also a homopolymer which is formed by a combination of tetrafluoroethylene. So homopolymers are those polymers in which all the monomers are of same type. Another is copolymer. If the polymers are not all of same type, but polymers which are formed by more than one type of monomers are known as copolymers. Just like nylon 6,6. Nylon 6,6 is actually formed by a combination of hexamethyl diamine and adipic acid. So there are two different type of monomers which combine together to form nylon 6,6. So it is a copolymer. Similarly, Buna S is formed by a combination of styrene and butadiene. So styrene and butadiene molecules join together to form a long chain which is known as Buna S. Similarly, Buna N is a copolymer of acrylonitrile and butadiene. So homopolymers are those polymers in which all the monomers are of same type, but if the polymer contains more than one type of monomers, it is known as copolymer. Now, type of copolymers. Basically, there are different type of copolymers. One of them is random copolymers. In this, what happens that monomeric units have random distribution throughout the chain. As you can see here, let's say here A and B are the two monomers which combine together to form a copolymer, and this represents the segment. You can see A, then B, then A, then two B's, then A, then B unit. There is no fixed pattern. The distribution is actually random. So that's why these type of polymers are known as random copolymers. Next type of is alternating copolymers. In this, actually the monomeric units occur alternatively throughout the polymer chain. One A followed by a B. You can see here A and B are arranged in alternating way. So these are alternating copolymers. Next is block copolymers. Actually, in this what happens, that different blocks of identical monomers units alternative to with each other. Just you can see this is a segment of A, then this is a segment of B or block of B, then this is A, then B. So they are in group, in blocks, and which are alternative to one another. So different blocks of identical monomers units are present alternative with each other, and this type of copolymer is known as block copolymers. Next is graft copolymers. Graft copolymers means homopolymers branches of one polymer unit are grafted onto homopolymer chain of other monomer unit like this. You can see this is one actually homopolymer of A, this is homopolymer of B, and this is also homopolymer of B, and B is graft over A chain. So this is a copolymer in which one homopolymer branch is graft over another. Now there is classification of polymers. There are different ways in which we can classify polymers. The first is classification based upon the sources. There are some polymers which are obtained from nature, like we have studied cellulose and proteins and many more. These all are natural polymers which are obtained either from plants or animals, just like protein, which are formed by monomers amino acids, silk, which is also a type of protein and it is also made up of amino acids. Next is natural rubber, which we obtain from plant, and it is actually a polymer of isoprene. Similarly, nucleic acid, DNA and RNA, those are polymers of nucleotides, and those are also obtained from plant or animal, that is natural sources. So these all are natural polymers which are obtained from either plant or animal as such. Okay, next is semi-synthetic polymers. That means which are prepared from natural polymer. Just like cellulose is actually a natural polymer, then we modify it to form cellulose acetate or cellulose nitrate and rayon. So these all are semi-synthetic polymers which are actually derived from natural source. Another example is actually vulcanized rubber. Vulcanized rubber, actually natural rubber is very soft, so we do some type of modification in that. We do vulcanization, because of which it becomes hard. So we can say that actually vulcanized rubber is a type of semi-synthetic polymer which is obtained from its natural form. Okay, next is synthetic polymers which are properly made in laboratory, like polyvinyl chloride, polyethylene, nylon 6, nylon 66 and many more. These are neither obtained from nature, neither they are formed by natural polymers. They are properly prepared in laboratory. So if a polymer is obtained from nature, from animal or plant sources, it is natural polymer. If natural polymer is modified to change its properties, the new polymer formed is known as semi-synthetic polymer. But if a polymer is properly made into laboratory, it is known as a synthetic polymer, and these synthetic polymers are widely used in today's life. Another classification can be done on the basis of shape actually. The first is linear polymers. In this you can see this structure, this. What happens that various linear polymeric chains are stacked over another to give a well-packed structure. And they have high density, high melting point, high tensile strength. An example is cellulose, polypeptides, nucleic acid, nylon. They have long thread-like structure. They have linear structures. Next is branched chain polymers. In this what happens that linear chain actually has some branches also. Like this you can see, this is the linear polymer. It has some branches. Monomeric units constitute a branch chain actually also, and they have lower densities, low melting point, and lower tensile strength as compared to linear polymers. An example is aminopectin actually. Starch is of two type, amylin and amylopectin. Amylopectin is that one which has branches. Apart from that, glycogen, low density polythene, etc. These all have branches actually in them. Next is crossed linked or three-dimensional network polymers, in which what happens, the different chains are crossed linked together. Linear polymeric chains are joined together to form three-dimensional network type structure, and they are very hard, they are rigid, and they are brittle. And the example is bakelite, which is actually used to form electrical switches. Next is classification can also be done on the basis of intermolecular forces. Elastomers is the first class in which there are very weak van der Waals forces, and elastomers means they can be stretched actually like rubber. They can be stretched, and whenever force is removed they regain their shape. So they are stretched and they regain their shape back, and this is because they have intermolecular forces but they are very weak. So they have very weak van der Waals forces. They are stretched and then they revert back to its original shape when force is removed. And because they have some cross links so that the chain do not slip over one another like vulcanized rubber. I was telling you about this. Next is fibers. Fibers actually have very strong intermolecular forces. They are linear polymers which are held together by very strong hydrogen bonds or dipole-dipole attraction. They have high tensile strength and they have less elasticity. That means they cannot be stretched actually. They have high melting points and low solubility. Example is yes, cellulose, nylon, styrene, wool, silk, etc. These are actually fibers. They have very strong intermolecular forces. And next is thermoplastic polymers. Actually, thermoplastic polymers have intermolecular forces in between elastomers and fibers. Elastomers have very weak intermolecular forces, fibers have very strong intermolecular forces. Thermoplastic polymers lie between them. More intermolecular forces than elastomer but less than fibers, and they do not have any cross linkage between them. They are hard at room temperature, but when they are heated they become soft, and again on cooling they become hard. So this cooling, so what is the basic, that whenever a thermoplastic polymer is heated it melts, it becomes softened, and after cooling it again becomes hard. Example is polythene, polystyrene and polyvinyl chloride. We know that we can melt polythene and change its shape very easily and it will again become hard. So this type of polymers are called thermoplastic polymers, and they do so because the indivisible chains are slip past on one another and polymer becomes soft on heating. Okay, next is thermosetting polymers. These are actually opposite to the thermoplastic polymers. They are hard actually. They are cross-linked polymers, and whenever they are heated, this cross-linking again increases. They have some cross-linkage between the chains, and on heating this cross-linkage further increases, because of which they becomes more hard on heating rather than softening. They do not soft on heating, they become harder and more harder as we heat them because the cross-linkage increases. So they become hard on heating and further they cannot be softened down further. An example is bakelite. Again, the bakelite is that polymer which is used for making electrical switches. Whenever we heat electrical switch, it do not melt, but actually it burns or it becomes solid. So they become hard on heating. Example is phenol formaldehyde resin, which is basically bakelite, and melamine formaldehyde resins, etc. Now, classification of polymers can also be done on the basis of synthesis. The first is addition polymers. We have just discussed about this. Addition polymers are formed by, they are prepared by additions of monomers, molecule possessing double or triple bonds. Example is polythene. And next, what happens in addition polymers, that simply monomeric units are joined together. they just keep on adding into one another. That is why they are known as addition polymers. And they can be of two types, homopolymers or obviously homopolymers or copolymers. Okay, so let's have a look of a homopolymer. We are very aware of the polythene, yes, which is formed by a combination of ethenes. So in polythene, what happens that there are n number of ethylene molecules, and when they are actually polymerized, they form a long chain by combining in this way, and the chain continues. So you can see this is a simple addition reaction in which one ethene is adding to another. What is basically happening, that it is done like this. This bond comes here, this goes here, and these two combine together to form like this: CH2, 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 and the chain continues till end. So this, you can see, it is a simple addition reaction. Simply two monomers are adding together to form a polymer. So this type of polymer is known as addition polymer, and as both the monomers are same, so that's why it is a homopolymer. And addition polymer also can be a copolymer, which is formed by addition of two different type of monomers. An example is Buna S or Buna N. Actually, okay, let's have a look at Buna S. It is synthetic rubber also, and Buna S is formed by a combination of butadiene and styrene. So structure of butadiene basically is CH2 double bond CH, CH double bond CH2. This is butadiene 1,3-butadiene. It combines with styrene, n number of molecules of this combined with styrene. Styrene has C6H5, a benzyl ring, then CH double bond CH2. This is styrene. These come together to form a polymer CH2, CH double bond CH, then CH2, CH2, CH, C6, H5, and it continues. So this is actually a Buna S or butadiene styrene copolymer. This is Buna S. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a benzyl ring. So nothing is removed. It is simple an addition reaction which is formed by addition of which involves addition of butadiene and styrene, and this type of polymer is known as obviously an addition polymer, and because the two monomers are different, so it is, yes, a copolymer, addition copolymer Buna S. Next are condensation polymers, actually, which involve condensation reactions. We know what a condensation reaction. Condensation reaction is a reaction in which two compounds come together, they combine together, and they involve elimination of a small molecule like water or alcohol. So condensation polymers are formed by repeated condensation reactions between two bifunctional or trifunctional monomeric units, and they involve elimination of small molecules such as water, ethanol, HCl, etc. An example is nylon 6,6 and Dacron or nylon 6. These all are formed by condensation reaction, and let's have a look at okay, so these are condensation, these are formed by condensation reaction. I can show you a condensation polymer here, nylon 6,6, which is formed by a combination of adipic acid and hexamethylene hexamethylene diamine, actually. Okay, so this is how it happens. CH2 4, this is adipic acid. Adipic acid. There is another molecule, NH2, CH2 whole 6, NH2. Okay, this is hexamethylene methylene diamine. These two come together, undergo condensation reaction in which, let's say, OH of this and 1H of this come out in the form of water molecule from this side also and from this side also, and what we get is like this portion, then CH2 whole 4, this portion, then C, it would be NH, then CH2 whole 6, this part, and then NH, and this is nylon 6. Why 6? Because there are 6 carbon atoms here and similarly 6 carbon atoms here, so that's why the name is nylon 6, and it is a condensation polymer which is formed by condensation reaction between adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Now there is a solved problem. Which of the following polymer is not an addition polymer? Polythene is an addition polymer, propylene is an addition polymer, buna N, and there is nylon 6. Actually, buna N is a condensation polymer. We have studied buna N, buna S. These are condensation polymers, so it is not an addition polymer. So correct option is C. Next is, which of the following polymer is a thermosetting polymer? We have just studied, it is directly based on the knowledge of fact that bakelite, or it was formaldehyde phenol resin, which is also known as bakelite. So it is a thermosetting polymer. On heating it becomes hard. Polythene, thermoplastic. Polystyrene, thermoplastic. Polyvinyl chloride, these all are thermoplastic. They become soft on heating and they become hard on cooling further. So correct option here is the bakelite. So students, in this video we studied about mainly classification of polymers. We classified them on the basis of their sources: natural polymers, synthetic polymers, semi-synthetic polymer. We classified them on the basis of intermolecular forces as elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic polymers. We classified them on the basis of polymerization reaction, addition polymers, or condensation polymers, and also we classified them on the basis of monomeric units, that is homopolymers and copolymers. In our next video, we are going to study about addition polymers in more detail. Keep watching. Thank you.